like a lot of things. That's one of the things where like the people, it's harder. We don't have as much power. Like media, we're starting to really make a dent, but like big tech, like fuck, like I mean, you're seeing new alternatives like Rumble and Minds and things that I really love and try to support, and we put content on. But like the big reason these things have power is because they just have a sheer market share of network users. Their tech isn't that amazing at this point. It's just that they have so many users. So I guess the key is like getting users to go to new platforms, and those platforms being good enough and having good enough content to attract people. You know what attracts people to platforms? Good content. I mean, TikTok blew up. What attracts people there? Like, it's not great. I don't use TikTok. I've looked at it. I've looked at maybe putting some stuff on Ben, but it's like you can only do like 3-minute videos. I don't feel like you're gonna get great content that short. It's just really addictive, and the algorithm is designed to like totally like
I
hack
haven't
the
gotten into
dopamine mine.
TikTok yet. Yeah.
But I'm like, at the same time, it's got a massive like reach. Should we maybe throw out some short blips? I don't know. You know, I'm not against, you know, any means necessary, I guess. But yeah, so like I think there's solutions. I'm at such at a stage in my point on my journey where it's all about implementation. How do we get there's solutions all exist? How do we get them implemented? And I've like getting back to like direct action. I'm big on direct action now. The whole concept behind that is like you don't really give a fuck what the government thinks. It doesn't mean you're irresponsible. It doesn't mean you're stupid. But it's like, for instance, Gandhi's Salt March was direct action. Dr. King's marches were direct action. It's versus civil disobedience. It's just standing outside and yelling, "Hey, you suck, you suck, you suck." Like let's just take action and ways to show proof of concept, um and that can happen in a lot of ways. You know, I'm not like I'm all the above kind of person. If you want to do it through politics, fine. Let's find the best ways for politics. If you want to do it through the private sector and just the people as a private business or just protests and mass movements, let's use that. Use everything at our disposal. Why not? Like, why limit ourselves? So if you're more vibing and feeling this approach or this way to approach it, then use that. I kind of have my hands in multiple things. You know, I think that's the most fulfilling. But the solutions are there. The key is just implementation, and implementation really the best way to get things implemented is community, is strength in numbers.
Right.
It's always
Yes.
been the way. The more power we have in the numbers, the better. The less they can pull off what they're doing, and that's what they know. I mean, this is the solution. And
That's
Ben's been asked
that's
this. It's so we got to create communities and we got to connect, but like that's
that's the
why
scene
I'm
from A Bug's Life where he's like, "It's not about food, it's about control. If they come together, you know." I forget
yeah,
the
dude.
exactly how it goes, but like
Dude,
that's pretty much
there's
it
some
right there.
powerful
It's
messages in Pixar, and I love a lot of those movies. Like, but
yep.
it's so true, and it's like that analogy is spot on. Of like the grasshoppers just control the what are they, ladybugs? I forget what they were. Ants? No, it's ants,
Ants,
right?
yeah.
Or
Ants,
yeah,
ants.
yeah. But it's all based on yeah, like you know, and that's shattering. And I know that's uncomfortable for people, but that is a good thing. But it's shattering from multiple angles, you know, and you're gonna have things you resonate more with. You know, I obviously have my things you can tell I resonate with, but and that's why I always try to like I'm really, really mindful now to be like, look, whether I'm talking to a friend or family or somebody on YouTube or Discord or whatever, like is this leading towards division or is this leading towards unity? Like, is this leading towards more of what they want, divide and conquer, or is this leading towards community and unity and building more bridge? And even if we disagree, it's like, look, man, like we may disagree, but much love, like best of luck on your journey. Like, but that doesn't mean like I'm also just gonna like it also you have to also be very mindful like your time and energy of like who's ready to listen and where are they really coming from and are they even trying to have a conversation or dialogue? And if they're not, then like usually it's best to be like, all right, I'm good. I'm gonna step away until you're maybe to have a real dialogue. So once again, know your audience and all that, but like we don't need the entire world to fucking agree and get on board. Once we have enough, you know, and this was the whole mission of Gaia and still is like once you get a large enough amount of people together in community,
The 100th monkey.
yeah, I mean the propeller will shift the paradigm, the propeller will shift the ship, right? So that's the key is they're just afraid of enough people, enough percentage of the population getting enough awake enough, leaving the matrix enough, really starting to say there are real systems designed. That's why they're terrified of Rogan and Brand. They're terrified of these guys. Oh my God, they're talking with nuance and they're being empathetic and loving and funny and they're talking about real serious things that actually are important and they're doing it in a way that's actually authentic and digestible. That is the formula to break their bullshit and system. And that's why they have a massive following and are blowing up because people are like, yes, this is refreshing. This is what's up. This is what I want. And and that's always going to be the case, that kind of content for sure. But like the key is then like working within their systems of control. Like YouTube will go, Ben, we got to be mindful of what we say. And like, so it is what it is. But like, so that's the delicate part of it. That's where it's like, and Brand, like, that's why I love it. Like he's got 4 million and growing. Like, it's, I love seeing people like that blowing up, because it is so important and helps shift that community and that collective. And it doesn't have to necessarily be, it can be a decentralized movement. It can be a decentralized community. We can create small networks of people to come together, moving and living closer, and for sure do that physical. But like at the same time, use the tools of the internet and the online metaverse, use the defragmented, decentralized ability that it provides to also have a community and network that. I'm big on, smarter, not harder, connect networks, connect with like-minded people. That's the next stage, down the line with me and Ben, is like, excuse me, trying to put on events or like, festivals, a thing with like-minded people, speakers, music, comedians, and trying to do more of like showing proof of concept, living it. And then, it already exists, and these transformation festivals are, attend them, so like, I do get a lot of hope and optimism for what's possible, and when I do see how these tools can be used the right way. But we are in the middle of a very volatile time. Nobody can deny that. We are experiencing extreme volatility. The purging is at a climax in a lot of ways for the purging of the collective, and that's uncomfortable. That's making people give them a lot of anxiety and fear if they're not prepared, and that's okay. And we got to have love for them and hold space. And maybe they might pass and go on and still feel that way, and that is what it is, But what you can control, what you can do, that is, you can only lead a horse to water. You can only control your own thoughts and actions. And, I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic at the end of the day, but I'm not naive to like, yeah, like this is a serious challenge we've got. This is a real opponent. We've got to collectively form a pretty badass community that's going to be